What if I told you the whole alpha male thing was one of the biggest lies ever sold to men our age? They sold us a fantasy of power, but it only makes you miserable, fake, and alone. It was designed to keep you weak. And the craziest part? Most of us fell for it without even realizing it. But I broke free, got married, and became who I wanted to be my whole life. And by the way, I'm Kane Irvine. This is Man Talk. Let's bust these myths together. Myth 1. They say emotion makes you weak. But what if it's your strongest weapon? First off, don't cry about every little thing like a little bitch, but don't pretend you feel nothing either. There's a way to be vulnerable that actually enhances your relationships. It's how you connect with people, especially women. Now, this is a very hard skill to sharpen, and we will go over it in later videos, but if all you are is a chunk of rock that no one can connect with, relationships of value will be hard to come by. It's key that you understand what vulnerability means. It doesn't mean spilling the guts of your family trauma on the first date. It doesn't mean saying I love you after 3 dates. It means being willing to open up gradually as your relationships with people progress. Open up slowly. Be willing to risk connection and even rejection. Think of it like this. Let's say you're on a first date and she asks about your family history or your relationship with your parents. And let's say that for you in particular, it's not that great and you're working through some stuff. Don't immediately spill all the bad things you've been through. Just say something like, there's been some very hard times for me and my family that I think I'd prefer to keep private at the moment, but perhaps in the future you and I can talk about it some more. This is a mature, healthy response that lets someone know you're willing to open up once you get to know them more. So practice this. Real strength is emotional control, not emotional denial. Because when we can't connect emotionally, we start trying to fill that hole another way, usually with women. Myth 2. They say sleeping around makes you a man, but what if it's hiding something else? Really, I've always found that sleeping around was a mask for something deeper, a void that we are trying to fill, which is actually a feminine quality when you think about it. I do get it. We're guys, and sometimes we just want to lay some pipe, and that's okay. But at some point, you have to ask yourself why you aren't committing to someone. Even if you're not ready for marriage, having a more serious relationship is one of the best forms of personal growth because women will call us on our shit. They'll teach us about our emotions, and they'll show us what we want and don't want out of them. Women are our partners in life. Can't live with them, and you can't live without them, man, unfortunately. My wife has taught me so much about myself, and she always pushes me to be better. My life wouldn't be nearly as great without her there, and I wouldn't trade that relationship for one night with anyone. So remember that women are our partners in this life, and healthy, fulfilling relationships are fucking hard. Sleeping around is the easy way out. Doing what's worthwhile and fulfilling, building something real, that's the hard part. And if you've made it this far in the video, stop chasing someone else's life. Hit that subby for me so we can grow together, my man. Because this next myth, it's the one that nearly broke me. Myth number 3. Grind your life away to achieve success. Honestly, this just leads to burnout and deteriorating relationships. My friend and I both went through this at one point at the same time. We just worked and worked, trying to achieve some lofty expectation of what society says we must be. I remember my eyelid twitching every day for months on end from a lack of sleep. It was fucking stupid. I'm not saying you should be a wage slave your whole life. If you want to start your own business, go for it, dude. You should work hard. Don't sit on the couch, eat Cheetos, and jerk off to hentai. That's no good, my man. But remember what's important in life. Remember who will be there for you when all is said and done. Don't neglect your relationships and give yourself breaks. Eat good food, treat yourself right, chill, waste an afternoon playing video sometimes. Look, they want you to be tired, broke, and distracted. The more you grind, the easier you are to control. So forget hustle culture and pursue what is meaningful to you, what gives you hope, and what makes you happy and excited. And when I finally stopped grinding for approval, I realized something. Peace feels better than power ever did. Following all those alpha male rules leaves you depressed and alone. It keeps you weak and dependent on their $400 courses, and honestly turns you into a selfish asshole. Here's the alternative. Pursue your passions. Invest in your relationships. Develop self-worth from the inside by striving to improve your worldview. How can you start doing better today? Write down 3 things you enjoy doing. It doesn't matter what they are. Do them this week. Pick a habit you don't like, work on dropping it. Whether it's scrolling before bed or sleeping in or whatever. Try not to do it tomorrow, then go from there. These things take time. I still work on this shit all the time. I still have habits I want to break. It's a process all the time. But being the best version of yourself takes effort. It takes time. If you're ready to live life on your own terms, not someone else's script, hit subscribe. This isn't about being alpha, it's about being authentic. There's a lot more where this came from. So for now, stay handsome, gents.